guys, Nicole Russo coming to you from Louisville, Kentucky with colleague Joe Nevills. Of course, the field is now set for the Kentucky Derby, and we're going to take a look at some pedigree notes for the field to supplement your handicapping. We'll go in post position order through the overflow field, 20 in the main body of the field, blended citizen, the also eligible. At the time of filming, he has until Friday morning scratch time to draw into the race. But as we look at sort of the first set of gates in the field, you'll immediately see the first of an incredible 4 starters in the race for the late sire Scat Daddy. That is Flame Away. Another in these inside gates, Free Drop Billy, really bred to love a route of ground. His half-brother Hawkbill, a Group 1 winner at 12 furlongs. On the inside there is Firenze Fire, who's from the family of Broodmare of the Year Oatsy, of course the dam of Shackleford, plus an Alabama winner. You would think some stamina in that family, but Joe, your average winning distance statistics actually put him near the back of the pack.
When you look at the average progeny winning distance of his sire and dam and step that up against all the other horses in the field, he's tied for last with promises fulfilled. Firenze Fire is from the first crop of Poseidon's Warrior, who has the lowest AWD figure of this year's Derby sires at 6.44 furlongs. Now what this means is that when you take the distance of every race that a Poseidon's Warrior foal has won and average them out, it comes out to less than 6.5 furlongs. Not ideal for a race like this, even for a first-year sire. To compare, the sire at the top of the list is Arch, sire of Instilled Regard, who has an AWD number of 8.2 furlongs, which is over a mile. Very impressive. Firenze Fire is the first foal out of his dam, My Every Wish. Now, his 4 wins have come at an average distance of 6 3/4 furlongs, putting My Every Wish second to last in this year's class of broodmares. The top mare is Trenza, the dam of Free Drop Billy, who you previously mentioned. An average winning distance of 9.61 furlongs, nearly the classic distance itself, helped along very much so by the international success of Hawkbill.
Moving on in the field, the next group of starting gates as we work our way toward the outside, we encountered 2 major contenders. Juvenile champion Good Magic, who's coming off his win in the Bluegrass, is one of 3 in the race for Curlin, who has produced a classic winner or classic placed runner from each of his first 5 crops to race. An incredible statistic that he has a good shot to keep going with 3 strong contenders in this field. Right next to him in the gate will be the morning line favorite, Justify. He is one of Scat Daddy's 4, trying to buck the curse of Apollo, having not raced as a 2-year-old. He is unbeaten. He comes in off this impressive win in the Santa Anita Derby, and I thought he looked fabulous in his first morning on the track at Churchill Downs.
Of the 4 sons of Scat Daddy in the field, Justify, Mendelssohn, Flame Away, and Combatant, Justify finished the highest of that group by average winning distance rankings combined at 9th of the field. Mostly because Scat Daddy's a bit of an enigma. We all know that he's capable of siring an elite runner, certainly, but his AWD of 6.94 furlongs puts him 11th among the Derby sires. He's got the 2 favorites in Justify and Mendelssohn in this group, so that number is going to be put in a test in a big way on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Moving on in the field, Medaglia d'Oro, sire of Preakness winner Rachel Alexandra, also has 2 in here. You see them right here next to each other in the gate. Interestingly, they're bred on the same cross. Bolt d'Oro out of an AP Indy mare and Enticed out of the multiple Grade 1 winner It's Tricky by AP Indy's son Mineshaft. Joe Hofberg, a half to Grade 1 winner Emollient, also factors well in your stamina statistics.
Hofberg getting a lot of wise guy buzz early on heading into the Derby. He's by Tappet, who ranks 2nd by average winning distance among this year's Derby sire class at 7.58 furlongs. So that's pretty impressive. He's still seeking his first Kentucky Derby winner, but he sired a trio of Belmont Stakes winners, Toneless in 2014, Creator in 2016, and Tappert last year. So has plenty of distance credentials behind him. Soothing Touch, the dam of Hofberg, was 3rd among the Derby broodmares, with her 3 winners succeeding at an average distance of 8.6 furlongs. Her first foal, as you said, Empire Maker filly Emollient, is a Grade 1 winner at 1.25 miles on the turf. So on both sides of this, Juddmonte does not mess around breeding cheap speed, and this is the culmination of that. Gotta love what you see out of Hofberg.
Continuing right along into the outside half of the field and into the auxiliary gate, a couple of pricey horses represented in the group you're looking at here, including Mendelssohn, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf last fall and then graduated to dirt successfully, winning the UAE Derby by the mile. Thought the Scat Daddy colt would take to the dirt all along. He is, of course, half to the Great Beholder, four-time Eclipse Award champion. And Joe, we've known Mendelssohn since way back when. We watched him top the 2016 Keeneland September yearling sale at $3 million.
There are some horses that you know are going to be a big deal as soon as you see their page in the sale catalog, and then you see them in person and they live up to the hype. Mendelssohn was very much one of those horses, a dynamite physical from one of the top broodmares going right now by a sire in huge demand. He was a massive score for Clarkland Farms breeding operation and continues to live up to that price tag for the Coolmore operation. He's done it all. He's won on turf. He's won on synthetic. He's won on dirt. He's won grade ones in the US. He's won in the UAE. He's won in Europe. And with credentials all over the world, all over the map, all over the card, I'll be interested to see where Coolmore decides to stand him at stud when his time comes, because he's done it all. You could put him anywhere.
And last but not least, taking a look at the far outside of the gate, two more for Curlin here. The consistent Solimini comes from one of the most active families in the stud book right now. And Vino Rosso, the Wood Memorial winner, who we'll watch in a second here, he's from the immediate family of narrow Belmont runner-up Commissioner and Breeders' Cup Sprint runner-up Laugh Track. Watching him train in the mornings, I really loved what I've seen from him. He floats over the track. I think he'll love the Derby distance and might love the Belmont distance even more.
There is absolutely zero question that Curlin is a classic sire. But from the average winning distance rankings, the standout of those two for me is actually Salamini, who tied at the top of the overall rankings. Curlin ranked third among the Derby sires with an average winning distance of 7.57 furlongs, so about 7.5 furlongs, which is just 100th of a furlong behind second place Tappet. Salamini is out of Surf Song, who posted an average winning distance of 8.62 furlongs, which ranks her second among the mares. Of Surf Song's 5 winners from 7 foals to race, Salamini is the only one to have won a race at a distance shorter than a mile and a 16th. He broke his maiden at 6.5 furlongs. However, Salamini is also the only stakes placed runner among his siblings, so he's a standout in a lot of different ways.
Well, if you pick up Saturday's edition of Daily Racing Forum, you'll be able to see what all of our handicappers think of the Kentucky Derby. But I can tell you that I'll be keying around a couple of those Curlins, using Good Magic and Vino Rosso, who have really been training with enthusiasm. Also using Justify, who, as we discussed, definitely has some stamina on his page and really seemed to take to things in his first morning at Churchill. Joe, any thoughts on where you're headed?
Justify is a freak. Once he got past drawing a good post, it would take something unfortunate happening at the break for him to not run away with this thing in my eyes. I think everyone's got to get past him, and if they do, they're going to win the Kentucky Derby.
All right, so that is your field for the Kentucky Derby. More analysis of the entire action-packed weekend at Churchill Downs will be coming to you from DRFTV all week, including these 2 special editions of Out of the Gate. Stick with us all weekend to raise your game under the Twin Spires.